It's late spring 2012 and Cartrefi Conwy, the first large-scale housing transfer in North Wales, is gearing up for their largest regeneration programme to date. 264 homes on the Peulwys Estate in Peulwys are about to receive a variety of fuel efficiency measures such as loft insulation, new high-efficiency boilers and topped off with the cladding of all the homes with external wall insulation. Peulwys is about to undergo a transformation unequalled since the homes were originally built in the 1970s. The homes in Peulwys are of Lawton Cubit construction. At the time, this meant that they could be erected quickly and would serve for approximately 25 to 30 years. This short-term thinking has left the present generation with homes that are costly to heat, with up to 35 to 40% of the heat escaping through the walls. This situation is only getting worse as the cost of fuel increases and many on the estate are slipping into fuel poverty where they are spending more than 10% of their income on energy costs. An additional consequence of this construction design is that there is a mindset among residents that the homes are temporary and of low quality and that it is only a matter of time before the bulldozers arrive. Andrew Bowden, Chief Executive for Cartrefi Conwy, sets the scene.
Peulwys has experienced a variety of problems over the years relating to poor housing design and antisocial behaviour. Prior to transfer, Conwy County Borough Council recognised the danger of Peulwys becoming a sink estate, so they instigated a variety of community development initiatives which spearheaded some physical improvements including improved lighting, defensible spaces and a community hub. With stock transfer in 2008, we inherited the area and assured that the community development investment continued. We are aware, however, this needs to be combined with physical regeneration, and earlier this year we saw an opportunity to do just that. Due to the construction type, there has been an attitude that the homes are temporary and it is only a matter of time before they are rebuilt. We are showing that Cartrefi Conwy is investing in the future of these homes by first and foremost improving their energy efficiency and secondly by transforming the aesthetic appeal of the area. We hope that these two factors will kick-start a new area for Peulwys, transforming tenants' lives and bringing pride to the whole community.
Having successfully bid to undertake external wall insulation on sheltered bungalows in nearby Ross-on-Sea, Adrian Johnson, the Asset and Sustainability Manager for Cartrefi Conwy, took advantage of this opportunity once again, but this time on a much larger scale.
We worked hard in January to pull together all the necessary information to put in a community energy savings programme bid, so we're over the moon when we got the go-ahead. We put a schedule of works together and tendered out to the big 6 energy companies, where Scottish and Southern Energy were the successful utility company who were to fund the scheme. Then we began the process of comparing products, value engineering and agreeing designs before sending off all the information to the planning department back in March. An added complication was that there was 36 owner-occupiers on top of the 231 Cartrefi Conwy homes, and we wanted to ensure that we could offer these improvements to the whole community. So rather than take the easy route and just improve our tenants' homes, we worked closely with our partner and contractor G-Purchase Construction and Scottish and Southern Energy, who agreed to carry out the works at cost so that the owner-occupiers could be included, free of charge. Of course this came with all sorts of legalities, but we crossed that hurdle and 92% of the owners took us up on the offer, receiving approximately £15,000 of improvements at no cost to Cartrefi Conwy. It's been an incredible tight timescale to get mobilised, but we haven't had any let-ups as the whole scheme has to be completed by November to meet the funding requirements.
And while this was going on, a buzz of excitement started amongst the residents of Peulwys as they were brought up to speed on the developments. Consultation events in the community centre drew out crowds to hear first-hand what was being planned. Mrs Amanda Powell, a tenant from Moorowell, attended the events.
It was quite amazing to hear about all the plans for our homes. There were artistic plans of what the homes would look like after the insulation and render was installed. There was also an opportunity to say what colour scheme and layout we thought would look best on the estate.
Given Peulwys' Radburn-style layout, the street layout is confusing, even for residents. The tenants felt that this project would allow for better definition of individual streets by having each street in the same colour of render. Likewise, they chose their favourite palettes for the whole estate from a range of colours, and how they thought these colours would be best arranged. Another outcome of the community consultation was to add some defining details to the homes. An early observation from some tenants was that the homes might lose some of their identity, so various options were offered to the community, and it was agreed to apply a brick slip detail below each of the windows. Whilst appearing to be a simple design, the brick effect requires 2 additional layers of render and some skilled application to get the right effect. With all the details in place, all that was left to do was start the work. Steve Walker, project manager for G Purchase Construction, headed the scheme.
With such a short timescale to get mobilised and then deliver this scale of work on 264 homes, it was vital that we had a programme that was efficient and progressed on several different levels. The first step was to create 2 work streams that worked in opposite parts of the estate and progressed in tandem. Then we separated another 2 work streams to do the preparation works, followed by the main scheme works. Once we got fully mobilised, there were over 120 workmen working in about 130 homes at any one time. We erected at least 12 miles of scaffolding tubing and applied 33,685 insulation boards, which, if laid end to end, would reach from Colwyn Bay to Bangor. Not bad for 7 months' work.
While the first workers were gearing up, another angle was being investigated. How do you ensure that the large majority of children and young people are kept safe while the work progresses? Ivor Goodsight came to the rescue and visited the 2 local schools to talk to the young people about how to stay safe around the construction site. Rhian Jones, the head teacher at Ysgol Tanna Marian, was impressed.
It was really effective for the children to receive the health and safety talk before any of the works on the estate started. The added bonus was a competition for the children to create posters that highlighted the issues that had been discussed. They loved that task, made even more special as they can now see that the winning posters have been turned into warning signs, which are displayed on the scaffolding and entrances to the estate.
The work started properly in May. The first thing to go was the extremely inefficient G-rated boilers. Tenants immediately benefited as the new boilers went from being 68% to 92% efficient, meaning that previously for every £1 that a tenant was spending, they were getting 68 pence worth of heat, whereas with a new boiler they would get 92 pence worth of heat. At the same time, several ongoing problems with damp and structural defects were rectified. The ground was lowered below the damp-proof course on all homes using a trench and a French drain, and homes had to have the inner steel beams checked for corrosion and, if necessary, treated or repaired to extend the life of the building. Also, the design of the roof meant that there were no eaves. So at this stage, in order to accommodate the new insulation, each home had to have the roof line extended. A time-consuming task, but the added benefit is that they have added character to the homes. Early on, an unforeseen problem arose with the porches. Due to the thickness of the external wall insulation, the porch doors would no longer have room to open. All the porches would have to be removed and renewed at the end of the work. Patrice Bowler, the tenant liaison officer for the project, took on the role of explaining about the porches during her rounds.
I grew up on Peulwys and got the job of tenant liaison officer with G Purchase just as the works were starting. I know a lot of the people up here and they know me, so along with my daily visits, I think it was natural that I was the right person to explain to them the problems that we faced and how we would replace their porch with a new one after the insulation and rendering was done.
Along with a strong emphasis on employing local builders, An early partnership was forged with Llandrillo College to provide opportunities for students on their pathways to apprenticeship schemes. While the timescales of the project were too short to benefit full apprenticeships, the Pathways participants were given up to 5 weeks of real work experience with joiners, plumbers and plasterers. Gavin Jones, who is the Work Experience Coordinator from Llandrillo College, was eager to make the most of this opportunity.
It can be a real struggle sometimes to get work experience for the young people on the Pathways scheme, but having sat down with Cartrefi Conway and G Purchase early doors, we made a plan, and they stuck to it, providing a work taster for 15 of our young people. The Peulwys project has been a real success, and we have seen the change in our students, as well as creating some ongoing opportunities for this to continue.
With the preparation works well underway, the next main phase of work could begin. The physical transformation of the exterior of the homes and the largest benefits to tenants' pockets was going to be achieved through the application of exterior wall insulation. Structherm, a recognised market leader in this area, was the chosen supplier of the insulation board. The large grey 90mm thick insulation boards, which are attached to the external walls, will deliver an increase in U values from 2.1 to 0.3 and instantly provide an additional level of warmth to the homes. Over the lifetime of the product, up to 52,000 tonnes of carbon will be saved, which is the equivalent of the weight of the Titanic. The installation of the insulation began at a furious pace, quickly outpacing the following army of renderers, particularly with the dire weather that settled on the area over the summer. Wayne Bannister, Cartrefi Conway's Improvements Contract Manager, outlined some of the problems that were faced during the project.
We definitely had our share of unforeseen challenges on this project. We were able to adapt and deal with most of them, except the weather. The rendering is applied in 3 separate coats, with a final silicon-based colour coat of render. With the severity of the environment on the Peulwys Estate, as it gets hit by rain, winds and salty air from the sea, we have opted for this hard-wearing, all-weather render system that has a 20-year guarantee. However, this system means that the team of renderers, up to 30 strong, were dependent on the weather to put on each coat. With the wet summer, we found ourselves falling behind schedule, despite working late and on weekends when possible. When we realised how serious it was getting, G Purchase introduced a recovery programme to bring in extra renderers. With these measures in place, the project was brought back to within expected timeframes. Another complexity that had to be overcome was that the original external walls were uneven. This meant that we were seeing a ripple effect in the final render coat. This was combated by packing out the walls with polystyrene sheets to get an even final finish.
The summer holidays approached 2 months into the scheme, so the proactive partnership of G Purchase Construction and Cartrefi Conway looked at setting up and funding several initiatives for positive community involvement over this period. Working together with the Peulwys and District Partnership Board and Ysgol Tan y Marian, a summer filled with activities was lined up to provide diversionary fun for the young people. The events worked well and drew 55 participants to the mix of drum workshops, crafts, fun days and rapping. Another successful summer project was the formation of the Parc Peulwys and Friends Community Choir. Initially, a number of young people and adults got together and rehearsed with the musically minded head teacher of the local school, Rhian Jones. This developed so well that the choir, most of whom had never sung publicly before, made a magical debut conducted by royal composer Dr. Paul Mealer at the prestigious North Wales International Music Festival. The sell-out concert at St Asaph Cathedral was an unforgettable experience for the choir as they proved their talent and also forged new friendships. Gradually, the transformation of the estate could be seen as scaffolding came down once and for all, and whole streets could be seen in their complementary new colours. One of the owners that's benefited from the project, Jan Sladen, was particularly impressed.
We bought our house 9 years ago because we wanted to get on the housing ladder, but we didn't really realise some of the problems with these homes. We have felt the effects of the energy price increases, and this project has made us realise that we're losing a lot of our money straight out the walls and through the roof. We never would have considered external insulation, so this project has been a godsend. Not only are we feeling the benefits already, but as well, all the workers have been brilliant and have done everything they can to keep the disruption to a minimum.
The finishing touches are just as important as the rest of the work, as it completes the renovation of each home. The renewal of the porch is a big step in the process, having to fit it around the other work. But it is also quite involved and makes a huge difference to the look and security of the home. It is also a physical sign for all that the project is coming to the end. This is followed by the smaller details of extending the windowsills to match the insulation thickness, repositioning of satellite dishes and lights onto a strategically located wooden patras, and replacing downpipes, erecting fences, laying porch carpets and painting, amongst a million other details. All of it has to be done before the completed house is signed over and the satisfaction survey is completed with a tenant or resident. Rob Redhead, a tenant of Meynan and chair of the Peulwys and District Partnership Board, was amazed by the changes to the area.
Yeah, I've lived on Peulwys for 14 years. The new look has changed the appearance for the better and brought the houses up to date. There is a positive vibe about the place, even though the pace, progress and scale of the works were disruptive at times. People I've spoken to are already noticing the benefit of the energy efficiency improvements with the savings on bills. This project has made a vast difference to the area, which we hope to continue to build on. The estate looks like it's newly built now, not a forlorn forgotten relic from the 1970s.
As the final property is inspected and handed over, the compounds and welfare units removed, and work vehicles drive away for the last time, the full transformation of the Peulwys community is revealed. Gwyn Jones, Cartrefi Conway's Director of Operations, reflects on the project.
The changes that you can see on the Peulwys community are simply incredible. In only 7 months, 264 homes have been completely renovated, increasing the SAP rating, which measures the energy efficiency of the whole building, from an average of 65 to 78, which is a significant increase for homes of this type. All this work has been completed with tenant satisfaction rates above 90%, while delivering whole house improvements that will enrich the well-being, both physically and financially, of our tenants for years to come. It is estimated, based on current costs, that tenants could save approximately £300 per year on their fuel bills. Additionally, we have also ensured that the benefits spread beyond Peulwys. This has been achieved through a strong labour force from the North Wales area, 15 pathways to apprenticeship placements from Llandrillo College, recycling rates above 85%, and by utilising our long-standing relationship with the social enterprise Crest Cooperative to undertake a fence painting scheme. This project could not have happened without the fantastic determination and willpower generated through our successful partnership with G Purchase Construction, Structherm and Scottish and Southern Energy. I look over the physical transformation of this community, which fills me with pride, and I'm excited about the future for Peulwys. We plan to continue this regeneration in 2013 with large-scale improvements to the communal green spaces, which will complete the picture and put the park into Peulwys. I see this as a new chapter for Park Peulwys, and we will continue to work positively with the residents to make this a community to be proud of.